TASC has a history, a reputation, and mystique. Sure, it's known for size and numbers, but most of all, it is known for its accomplishments, its excellence. You've just seen an example of the kind of leadership that ensures we continue to excel. That expectation was set over 50 years ago by a gentleman named Eddie G. Bull. Here to talk about Eddie is one of TASC's greatest treasures, JJ Colburn. JJ is currently the president and partner at Strategic Association Management, an association management company in Austin. But before that, he had a long history of service with TASC as an active student council member at Little Cypress, Mauriceville. He was a student council advisor, a TASC summer leadership workshop consultant, and served for 10 years as the director of the Texas Association of Student Councils. Regardless of the position JJ has held, TASC has always been in his heart, and we are better because of his service and his support. Please welcome JJ Colburn.
Thank you, Caitlin. It's an honor and privilege to be back here with you this evening and to do something that's really special for me, and that's to memorialize and give a little bit of credit to one of my mentors, Eddie G. Bull. You know, in just a minute, a special advisor among many, many special advisors is going to be recognized with the Advisor of the Year Award, and that award has been named after Eddie when he retired a few years ago. Think about that. What does success look like? Is it having an award named after you, or maybe your name on the side of a building, or maybe a highway named after you? Wouldn't that be cool? Think about the school you go to, and if it's named after somebody, and maybe you know their story, maybe you don't. But you know, there's a story behind every single one of those names. It means they've done something impressive or important. There's a reason that awards and buildings and parks and schools are named after special people. TASC lost one of its greatest legends in Eddie Bull back in January. And actually the whole student council community, whether in Texas or across this country, lost a hero. Many people would say that 30 years of service to this association and the conferences that you go to and the advanced workshops at Mo Ranch and Lakeview and even the awards that you get recognized for here at this conference over the next couple of days, that Eddie had a hand in building that. Sometimes direct, sometimes indirect. And some people may argue that that's his legacy. But he would say, no, no, no. His legacy is you. Whether you know it or not, whether you know that you are being affected every day in the work that you do in your student councils, that Eddie had a hand in that, I'm here to tell you he did. Most of the advisors in this room, and how about a round of applause for your advisors, these special, incredible folks. Most of the advisors in this room were either directly mentored by Eddie or an advisor before them that was directly influenced and impacted by an advisor who was impacted by Eddie. So generations of advisors across this room and across this state, whether they know it or not, were impacted by Eddie's legacy and the legendary status that he brings to this association. You know, since he passed as one of my mentors, I've been spending a lot of time over the last couple of months thinking deeply about legacy and legends. Legacy, the richness of someone's life, the accomplishments that they have, the people that they impacted. And legends are the impressions that we leave on the people around us, the way that we're remembered, the way that we're cherished. So how do you become a legend, and how do you leave a legacy? It's actually a lot simpler than you might think, especially if you take the route that Eddie took. Find your role, find your calling, and follow that. It's the impact that you have by living your purpose on the people around you, whether your name is on an award or your name is on a building. or not. That is how you leave a legacy, and that is how you become a legend. And the great news is, Stuco, TASC, this is the perfect place for you by being in this room. Whether you know it or not, there's a theme here. You are halfway to making a legacy for yourself, because what you're doing here, what you're committed to is being better, understanding who you are, and most importantly, making life better for the people around you. And that is the legacy of Eddie Bull. Let's give him applause for that. Now, the funny thing is that Eddie would absolutely hate that I was standing on this stage talking about him at all. And if you know Eddie, you know that's true. He would say, Colburn, don't take away from these students. Don't take away from the experience that they're having. They don't want to hear an old white guy with white hair talk about an old guy they don't even know. They want to have this experience. But that's what made Eddie special, because see, every decision he made, every time he asked a question of an advisor on the board or someone in a summer workshop training, he would say very specifically, is it best for kids? The lesson there is, in the work that you're doing in your student councils, whether you're an advisor or a student leader, lead with that question. Always ask yourself, is what I'm doing best for the people I serve? And that's the way you're going to honor Eddie Bull and what he brought to you and to the state of Texas through Student Council. Now, a few years ago, or actually, Terry, I think it was probably a little bit ago, TASC repurposed one of its greatest awards, the Texas Star Award, to be able to bestow that honor on someone who's made an indelible difference on the world of student council in Texas. And just recently, prior to his passing, the board chose to bestow the highest honor of its association on Eddie. And before Terry and the leadership of this association could even reach out to let him know that he was going to receive this honor, he passed. And so today, I'm, Terry, grateful to accept this honor on behalf of Sandra, his wife, and his son Ryan and his family, and I'll make sure that they know how special he was and is to the student council community. Eddie would rarely take the stage at an event like this unless there was trouble, or unless there were problems in the hotel and he needed to tell all the students to calm down and go to your rooms. He would rarely take the stage because he didn't like the spotlight. But Eddie had a tradition at Mo Ranch in Lakeview that I tried to continue for the decade that I was able to serve as the student council director for TASC, and I'm not sure Terry may have continued that tradition as well. And I can't see any of you because the lights are in my eyes, but I'm going to ask you a favor. I'm going to ask you to please stand one last time in honor of Eddie Bull, and I want you to hold hands. Hold hands across the room. And at the end of every Mo Ranch in Lakeview, Eddie said, I just have one thing I want to do. It's the only time I want the microphone. And he would share with the group, over 30 years, an Irish blessing. And so one last time, in honor of Eddie, I'm going to share it with you, and know that this is his message to you, it's my message to you, and I know it's the advisors that you're with, their message to you as well, and it goes like this, you may have heard it. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face, and may the rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. Thank you.